Hey, my name is Ray Flores. I'm a proud and loyal member of the First and 10 Tailgate. You're listening to First and 10 with my man, the main man, Foz.
Always the Foz.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 39, First and 10 with Foz. We're moving our way to number 50 coming pretty soon. Riding solo today, my man Maxwell. He's only going to be doing some more sports stuff, so I'll be filling in for some fun stuff before the season starts. So thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. Today we have an awesome special guest from across the pond, our International Fan of the Year for the Chicago Bears. He was down in Detroit. He got to announce our new punter, Torrey Taylor, the guy kicking 50 yards, and he actually got a pretty fun clap back at the Detroit fans too. So we'll be talking about that. So without further ado, let me go ahead and bring him on. Everyone, welcome Mr. James Gowers. James, what's going on, bud? Thanks for doing the show, man.
Hey, Foz. Yeah, no, pleasure. Thanks for having me on. It's it's great to chat to all you Bears fans. The biggest Bears fans out there, and go shoulder to shoulder with all of you guys. So yeah, no, absolute pleasure.
I just want to listen to you talk all night, man. I just love the accent so much. But yes, I'm going to keep this guy just talking forever. I need a British friend. You're my British friend now, James Gowers.
I am, yes. Yeah, no. It's funny, when I was over in the States not too long ago, they all love the British accent. So it's a winner for me. It's a golden ticket.
Yeah, dude, for sure. For real, man. They probably saw your intro video for the International Fan of the Year. Like, we just need this guy to talk on stage at the draft. Does everyone agree? Like, yeah, he definitely won. But let's get to the nitty gritty, man. Obviously, you're an International Fan of the Year, but there was a beginning to that. You're a young man. You're only 25, right?
Correct, sir. Yeah, actually, I turned 26 the other day, so getting a little bit older, but still young at heart.
So what in the last 26 years of the Bears has enticed you to be a Bears fan over the sea? I wouldn't say that our pride and joy of the franchise, of our legacy, has been the 2000s, unfortunately, except for our Super Bowl run in 07. But what made you become a Bears fan, man? How did you choose the Bears living in England?
Well, this is the thing, yeah. I mean, it's not been the easiest run as a Bears fan, so already,
we know. Everyone watching knows.
Yeah, it's not been the easiest. But then again, at least I'm not a glory fan. I could have easily gone for someone like the Patriots or the Chiefs,
sure,
or someone that had all that success. But obviously in England, it's a massively growing sport over here. But we have no affiliation. I'm not from Chicago. I'm not from Illinois, any of these surrounding areas. So we've got all of these 32 teams to kind of pick from. And we're like, where do we begin? Where do we start? How do we make these links? How do we fall in love with the team? For me, it was kind of just watching the game over here in the UK, just falling in love with the sport first and foremost, which I absolutely do adore. All of it is so exciting. We always say, and I know lots of you guys say it as well, it's like violent chess, and that's the appeal for me. But the reason kind of that sort of drew to the Bears to begin with was my soccer team. I support Tottenham Hotspur, and I know the Premier League is a massive league over in the States as well now. I kind of saw comparisons between Tottenham and the Bears, with the colours, with the history. It was the history of the Bears that really kind of drew me to following them and supporting them. Obviously us being one of the oldest franchises, if not the oldest, and then having the most kind of Hall of Famers as well. That rich kind of embedded history just kind of drew me into it. I did my more research and I thought, this is the team for me. Like I said, it's been a rough few years, but finally, Foz, we're on the up. Excitement's brewing. I've got a good feeling over the next few years. I really do.
I really do too, my friend. My friend, I really do too. So, doing your research on the Bears, looking up the history, even currently watching. What was some of the favorite players doing your history on the Bears when you were kind of doing some research that stood out to you? And then currently on our team, who are some major players that have really got you excited?
Yeah, I think for lots of people of my age, I think it's kind of similar. Devin Hester and Matt Forte. I really love both of them. They're fantastic players. So exciting to watch. And obviously we had a good defense when I first started watching as well. Your Urlachers, people like that, and that's grew and grew and grew. Started out with watching Jay Cutler. I know he divides a lot of kind of opinion within the fan base. And we all know he had his moments. He had really, really good talent. Sometimes the application wasn't there. Sometimes he didn't have the heart. But, that was kind of my introduction into the Bears. And as it grew on, after kind of the years of Jay, that's when it got really, really kind of rough. But, you stick to these players, you associate with these players. Even someone like Jordan Howard, when he first burst onto the scene, I really liked him and what he was all about. Players like Akeem Hicks, what a guy, what a character as well. So many good individual players, but now it really does feel like the whole team is on that sort of similar level. We've always been having those elite individual players, but as a kind of collective, it's not been quite there, and all the jigsaw pieces haven't quite fit. But as I said, now it's looking good. But yeah, those players in kind of the mid to late 2000s going into the 2010s was kind of what encapsulated me into the Bears furthermore.
Yeah, I'm with you too, brother. So I was only 2 years old during the '85 Super Bowl, and after that, it really was the only like '07 to '10 kind of seasons with the great defense and the fun playmaking of Mike Brown and Devin Hester and Peanut and Urlacher. And man, those were the years for me, man. So I'm with you. That's what made me fall in love with the Bears during that time frame too. So it was definitely an exciting time. Looking forward to getting back to it. So
Yeah.
being out where you live, your age group, are there any other Bears fans? Is there like a secret Bears cult out there we don't know about, or what?
Yeah, I've got a few friends. I think the Bears are quite heavily supported in the UK because as the sport first started to grow over here, it was just after the '85 Bears, one of the, obviously, if not in my opinion, the most iconic team of all time. But obviously, that's me being a little bit biased there. But the characters like Sweet.
No, you're right. You're correct.
I am correct. Yeah, definitely. I am. But yeah, like Sweetness, the Fridge. These kind of UK fans fell in love with these players, and ever since, it's been growing and growing. So I'd say Bears and Dolphins are really heavily supported over in the UK. I'm glad to see that we've got a good community over here in the UK, good fan groups, really nice guys as well that I've connected with, obviously prior to, but also after my adventure that I've had recently.
Yeah, and we'll get into that, man, for sure. So being in the UK watching a Bears game, it's a noon game here. What time is that over by you?
So, yeah, the noon game's the early kickoffs for you guys at 12 p.m. would be a 6 p.m. For us over here, which isn't too bad. That's quite nice.
Yeah.
It's more the prime time ones that are really quite bad for us over in the UK. If we've got like a Thursday night football,
Sunday night,
Monday night,
yeah.
It can be like 4 or 5 a.m. where I'm staying up until, which is crazy, but I still do it. I always make sure when the season schedule is announced that I book time off work for the next day so I can sleep and catch up on that because I ain't missing games. And there's been times where I've watched terrible games, going back to last season.
It's just the worst, isn't it?
Terrible.
Staying up. Yep.
Oh, man. There was one, I know we won it, but the Vikings last season, I thought that was a really bad game. It was so boring, and the Panthers as well. Once again, I know we won it, but it was
nobody won that game, sir. Nobody won that game.
It
was like an equal loss.
It wasn't great at all. But we still do it. We follow our team. We have this passion for our team. We love our teams, and I would never dream of not watching a game. So, we've got to do it. And I'm more than happy to do that and show that commitment, show that dedication, even though I'm very, very tired the next day.
Well, God, what? It's 11 p.m. by you right now.
Yeah, 11 p.m. So nice and late over here. But no, as I said, I'm used to these late
Yeah,
nights.
normally I go on at 7 p.m. as everyone knows, but
Yeah,
figure I'll catch you a break and let you get to bed somewhat early tonight, my friend.
appreciate it. Thank you, Foz. Yeah, really
Appreciate you
appreciate
coming on the show, buddy.
it.
So have you made a trip yet? Have you done your Soldier Field hiatus to stay in Chicago and go check out a game yet?
I've done it, sir. Yeah, and it was a dream come true, really. Back end
Tell
of
us about the experience, when it was, what game it was, things of that nature.
Absolutely, yeah. So back end of 2022, I was able to get over for my first ever game. It's not the cheapest of things to come over and get the flight and the hotel and the tickets and all of that involved. So you've got to pick your moments. You've got to, make sure it's a special one. And it was the season where we didn't do particularly too well, kind of Eberflus's sort of early tenure. But it was against the Eagles, the year they got to the Super Bowl. You might remember it when Justin Fields done that amazing run, and he was just pushed out of bounds at the last second. But it was ridiculously cold that day, Foz. I'm talking.
Yeah, I was there, brother. I definitely remember.
Yeah,
Yeah.
13, 14 layers on that day. It was the day of the World Cup final as well. I remember it. But that really kind of introduced me into being, what it's like to be a proper Bears fan. It was absolutely crazy, but still a dream come true. To be sat in the stands, seeing the field right in front of me, seeing the whole vibe and the atmosphere and all that kind of stuff. I was just kind of taking it all in and just thinking, my God, I'm here. This is what I've seen on TV. This is what I've, dreamt about. And to see that and to see the team, I didn't care about the result. I won't lie to you because I was there. Obviously I always want the Bears to win, but I knew he was coming up against a good opponent that day. But even just to be there, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, that was a pretty decent game. It wasn't a horrible game.
We gave them a game. We kept ourselves in it, so I was quite proud of what we did that day.
That seemed to be like how that whole 2022 season went, like we were in every game, like by a score coming down in the fourth quarter. So definitely a hard season to come over, my friend. But that goes to show that you're a man of honor with your team, and that's awesome, my friend. So any more planning trips to come back over again? I mean, I know you were just in Detroit for the draft, which we'll get into. But any more future trips for this season to come in any games?
I think I've got to. I think I have to. I think now I'm a little bit more recognised within the fan group. So I've connected with so many fans on social media. I think I have to. So I'm going to definitely try and get over this year. And wear my International Fan of the Year jersey. And, hopefully people might recognise me from the draft. But I've got to come over. I've got to see Caleb. I've got to see, the draft picks once again and see what this team has to offer. I know we were also hopeful last season, against Green Bay week 1. We're thinking this is going to be a really good season. Only for it to be crushed really, really quickly. But I don't think that will be the case this year. I think it's going to be.
I hope not, pal. I hope not. No. This year, when you come over there, my friend, you got to experience the Bears game. You got to experience the stadium. But this time, you got to experience the tailgating, my friend. And that's where I'm going to come in and help you, my friend. I'm a member of First and 10 tailgating. We're out there at 7 a.m. for new games, my friend. The party, the people that show up, the atmosphere, like doing that before a game just brings it to a whole nother level, man. So make sure to let me know when you're coming out this year. I got you taken care of. Okay, pal?
Amazing. No, that sounds brilliant. Yeah. And that's something I didn't get to experience last time just because I didn't know kind of the circles.
Yeah, sure, of course.
I would love that,
Now you're the man. You're the man of the year, the international man of the year.
It's something we don't really do over in the UK, so it's completely different. And I see the appeal of it. Getting up early, having a few beers, having some good food, chatting football. What beats that? Nothing.
Nothing, my friend. Nothing. It's such a fun experience. We have such a great group of guys, part of the group. Billy, the defense guy, Barry Mysterio, so many other people who are known fans. And it's just such a good time for the game, man. So it's something you definitely got to experience. We've had a lot of people. We've had other people from the UK come over too. People from Italy come over. People from all over the world and come experience our tailgate, man. And we've been told it's like no other. So I definitely got you next time you're in, my friend. But let's start talking about the International Fan of the Year Award, my friend. So obviously you heard about it. It's being promoted. You're like, this is my jam. I have to sign up for this, right?
100%. Yeah, it was. It was a weird story, really. We host quite a lot of events over in the UK, ready for when the games are over. So there was a fan event over in the UK, and because the Bears are connected with the UK, there were some representatives there. I went in my jersey. There was kind of like a mini combine thing, vertical jump, throwing challenges, 40-yard dash, all that kind of stuff. And a Bears representative kind of tapped me on the shoulder and gave me a leaflet, a flyer, with this kind of enter this competition. Thought nothing of it, put it in my back pocket, enjoyed the day, had a few beers, that sort of stuff. But when I got home, I remembered it and I thought, oh, I'm going to apply to this. I've got just as good of a chance as anyone else. So it was kind of a long process. They wanted sort of a full application type thing, filling out a load of boxes, explaining where my fandom began, how I kind of, the Bears community, how I rally other fans, that kind of stuff. Thought nothing of it. I thought I had no chance because, as I said earlier, so many UK Bears fans. But I was actually on one of my friend's bachelor parties. We call it over here a stag do.
What's it called? A stag do?
A stag do, yeah. So yeah. So I don't. What's a women's kind of equivalent of a
bachelorette party?
Bachelorette, yeah. So we have a stag do and a hen do. That's what we have. But it was in Latvia, in the middle of nowhere in Eastern Europe. And I get this email from the Bears saying, we're reaching out to UK-based fans about any fan events you'd like to see for the game in London this year. So I was like, oh, yeah, I want to give my ideas. I want to kind of, see how the Bears can, kind of connect with UK-based fans when they're over here. So I had a really good list of events that I'd like to do and activities and how we can connect with fans, that kind of stuff. But then they kind of pranked me and they flicked to this video from Jack Sanborn saying that I'd won, which was crazy. And I was like, I was catching flies. I was like, I couldn't believe it. And yeah, ever since then, it's just been life changing. You might have seen the video on the UK Bears Instagram channel where, they filmed my reaction in kind of secret. And I was in utter shock and disbelief.
No, man. It sounds extremely well-deserving, though. That guy with the pamphlets, like, listen to that dude talk over there. He sounds awesome. We need to get him involved with this. No, but that's fantastic, man. So, I mean, you won then. Sanborn announced you. You're freaking out. What was the next steps from there? What was the next step?
So next step was then, kind of them announcing everything. And, as part of the competition, it was flying me over to Detroit. And, I was so lucky because they paid for my flights, accommodation, hotels, all that kind of stuff. It was kind of going back and forth and arranging all of that kind of stuff.
Now, was it the Bears who did that or the NFL that took care of that?
It was a bit of both. So I went through a representative of the Bears, but it was through the NFL. So it was an NFL competition, but each representative from each team was sort of reaching out to the fans.
Did they hook you up with like a nice suite or something, a little welcome package?
Yeah. No, it was amazing. What the Bears did, and I'm very, very lucky because all the other 31 other fans from the other teams didn't get this. They said because Chicago is so close to Detroit, they're going to fly me out to Chicago first, go to Hallis Hall, have a day in Hallis Hall and a couple of days in Chicago, and then fly on to Detroit. So I got extremely lucky.
Dude, I've been to Hallis Hall. It's awesome, man.
Amazing, isn't it?
Tell me about your time at Hallis Hall.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So not many people get to go there as fans. So, I walked the steps of a few people, and it was so cool. These kind of hallways, these areas that I'd seen on YouTube and, the 1920 football drive documentaries, these kind of stuff. To be there in person, to see the George Halas statue, it blew my mind. And, to walk in those hallways and see the business side of the operations. We got there, we got signed in, and the first thing, nonetheless, for me was to be walking into Kevin Warren's office. So, yeah, I met Kevin Warren, had a good chat with him.
Nicest guy in the entire world.
So nice, isn't he?
So nice.
What a guy. Much better than Ted Phillips, I think. He's much more personal.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit more like than Ted Phillips in Chicago, my friend.
I think so. And the guy gave me his business card. I've got Kevin Warren's business card, so if I ever wanted to email him or call him, not that I would.
Hey Kev, what's going on, pal? It's 2 a.m. over here. What time is it there now?
Get another pass rusher. But no, that was really cool. Looked around the facilities, and just walking around and seeing some of the players, because they were in for some of the training and stuff. Bumping into Darnell Wright and seeing DJ Moore and all these players and Eberflus and Ryan Poles on the busiest week of probably the year for them, obviously with
craziest
the
day ever, for sure.
Yeah, so it was crazy, and the food at the canteen at the best facility is 10 out of 10. Incredible food. Those guys are so blessed, are so lucky to have that kind of available to them. And
did you get a chance to really meet with any of the players, talk to any of the players?
Not really.
Anyone who stood out or anything like that? Or came
not really, because they were all kind of a bit busy and stuff. If I had my time again, I would have probably been a bit more confident and spoken to them. But, the Bears representatives were kind of a little bit like, we don't know if this is, the right thing to do. But yeah, I wish I did. But it was still cool nonetheless. And I was eating my food, my lunch, and I get a tap on the shoulder from Jack Sanborn, which I got to meet him in person, which was really cool, because he was obviously the guy that announced that I was the fan of the year. But when we were there as well, he also announced that I was going to be doing this 122nd pick, provided that we didn't trade it. So I'm glad we didn't trade it. And also that they're going to hook me up with a couple of tickets for the London game as well, because it's really quite hard to get tickets for London. So I'm sure I'll get sort of good access for that game as well. So yeah, Jack Sanborn's the guy. What a legend. And yeah, I can't thank him and the Bears representatives enough. Going to Hallis Hall, never would have expected it. And yeah, it was a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah, dude, the new regime, Kevin Warren, Poles, Eberflus, dude, they're like a trilogy of a class act, man. And they've really turned around this franchise, in my opinion, in the last 2 years. You look at where we were 2 years ago till now, it's just completely night and day, man. It's a lot of trust those three guys have in each other. And just to hear them talk, man, their philosophy and everything, definitely a cool time to be a Bears fan right now, my friend.
Definitely. A few years ago, it probably wasn't fashionable to be a Bears fan, but now it really is. We're the cool kids on the block now. Thanks to those guys and the hires that we've made. I think lots of us Bears fans trust in Poles. And look at the moves he's done. Yes, he's had one or two questionable things, but overall, he's been phenomenal for us.
He's hit a grand slam except for Claypool and Velus Jones Jr. Everything else has been 100%, man. I mean,
exactly.
I like to see anyone else go out there and do better, whoever has anything to say. But
we all make mistakes, don't we?
Exactly.
Yeah, I back that guy. He's the man to
I mean, if Williams plays out this year, man, Poles is a god, dude. I mean, so
that's it.
That's what it's all coming down to this season, man. The kid's got a lot on his shoulders this year.
He has, but what quarterback has walked ever into a better situation as a rookie than
nobody ever? Nobody ever.
Look at the weapons we've got, available to him. So yeah, pressure's on him, but I think he can deal with it. Watching kind of.
It's like the number one draft is the only questionable dude on the field. I mean, where usually that doesn't happen. It's like they're supposed to be building around the number one draft in most drafts, but now he's the questionable guy. So definitely a weird scenario with this year. But an awesome scenario for us to be his fans, though.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you left Soldier Field. You did Hallis Hall, my friend. Now you're on your way to Detroit. Tell me about when you get to Detroit.
Yeah, so I flew into Detroit the day before the first night of the draft. So checked into the hotel, which was a good hotel. Kind of a lot of people have this kind of idea and stereotype of Detroit, as a city, as a place. And I can't lie to you, I sort of had this in my mind as well. What's it going to be like? I obviously love Chicago, best city in the world for me. Is it going to live up to Chicago? That kind of stuff. Now, granted, it didn't. However, it was a decent city, and the people there were so friendly and welcome. So God bless to them. But got to Detroit. Vibes were good. Everyone was excited. NFL drafts in town, huge event. hundreds of thousands of people, record-breaking draft.
Mm.
Got there, kind of checked in, and the first evening of this whole kind of competition was being invited to a private Q&A with Roger Goodell. So all the international fans of the year were in this room. Nonetheless, the night before the draft, so Roger's really, really busy, obviously, but he, say what you want about him, and I'm not his biggest fan, but he took his time out and spoke to the fans and answered questions and answered them quite well, like he does. I know he's a PR professional, this kind of stuff, but he got some hard questions thrown at him, to be fair to him. I myself didn't get the chance to ask him a question, but yeah, he took time. He had photos with everybody. He signed my jersey, that kind of stuff. So really kind of cool thing. And money kind of can't buy experience, really. So yeah, I was very fortunate with that. Got to meet some other Bears fans as well. They were also friendly. It was good to be in that little community there.
Most definitely, man. So what night was that? That was the night before the first night? Was that
was
Wednesday night?
Yeah. So, but yes, correct. Yeah. So, that was kind of rounded off day one. Everybody was still a little bit tired from the traveling and stuff. So it was just kind of a case of meeting all the other fans and connecting, because the fans were from Mexico and Australia and Germany and Canada, all these kind of areas. So it was a sort of a nice thing to connect with these other people from all over the world, really, which was really cool. But yeah, obviously the next day was the big one. Day one of the draft, we were very, very lucky to get a private tour of behind the facilities, where the players were going to be, in kind of in the waiting area, ready for when they get called up. Kind of the walkway, the behind the scenes where they print all the jerseys, that kind of stuff. And we got to go on stage, get the photos up at the podium. So that was really cool. We also got to walk the red carpet that day of the draft as well. So, they called us team by team, and this was before the players walked out, but that was cool as well, because there was lots of fans and photographers there ready for when the players were on the red carpet. But when they announced the Bears to walk out, which was me, my friend, and a couple of other fans, we got booed so much. But I was playing up to that, and I was going like I did for my pick. I was going like that and like that. So it was all in good spirit. But that was insane. And then obviously leading on to night one of the draft, what a night. One of the biggest nights in our recent history, I would say.
Yeah.
Is how defining this night could be with the two picks that we made. I'd love to get your thoughts. Were they the two guys you wanted if they fell to you? Because it certainly was for me.
I was actually at Soldier Field in the VIP section with Jeff Joniak, ESPN 1000. Some of the biggest Bears fans around the country. I was very lucky to be there. A friend of me offered me a VIP ticket. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to go to that. So Caleb Williams got announced, dude, and that place just went absolutely nuts, dude. There was just like such a sigh of relief, because prior to the polls there, and even last year with them trading the number one pick, like anyone who's a long time diehard Chicago Bears fans going back to the 60s, 70s, and 80s, any former GM, any former president would have traded that pick in a heartbeat and just tried to capitalize and get as many picks as they could. I mean, that's just how we've done things forever. So, like, go leading into the pick, just like knowing the history behind how things have been, there was a little tiny bit of me. I'm like, please just say Caleb Williams. Do not say somebody else, or do not trade it. So, dude, I think there was excitement and kind of like a sigh of relief for a lot of people. Like, okay, we're on the right track here. And then leading up to Rome Odunze's pick for number 9, dude, I mean, the 6, 7, 8 pick, like I couldn't believe the Falcons pick of that quarterback. Like, dude, like you got Kirk Cousins, you got Rome Odunze available, who is technically been considered, better than Marvin Harrison Jr. by some. So for them not to pick him, when they picked a quarterback, I started laughing. I was like, oh my God, we definitely drafted Rome Odunze then. So when they called his name, dude, the fans equally went as crazy, because now you have DJ Moore, you have Keenan Allen, you have Rome Odunze, dude, you got Cole Kmet, and you got Garrett from your other tight end, and dude, it's just going to be so sick, man. So I'm with you. That first night of the draft was really cool. I think one of the other things that stood out to me being there that I don't know if a lot of people know is, like, when Caleb Williams got done being drafted, he went into like a hologram bubble and was actually projected at Soldier Field and did a live interview with Jeff Joniak at Soldier Field in front of the entire crowd, which was completely awesome. Like, he was able to see us, we were able to see him, and fucking technology, man. It was awesome. But I love everything the kid has to say, man. I love everything Roma Dunze has to say, man. So you got to be International Fan of the Year of a pretty special draft, I think, my friend.
Well, I'm very lucky. I keep saying, that there's no better year for me to be International Fan of the Year. We had the number 1, number 9 picks. We're playing in London, this kind of stuff. So for me personally, worked out perfectly. But yeah, it's funny you kind of say that about the picks we made before the draft. They got all the prospects out on stage.
Yeah,
and we're kind of introducing them. Obviously, Caleb came out and we went crazy. But when Rome came out, we were all kind of shouting at him, "We want you, we want you!" And he kind of looked at us and smiled at us in our section in the Bear Pit. Once again, kind of like yourselves, when Caleb got announced, we were all expecting it. Not 100% because you never know with the Bears, but we were expecting it, and we still went crazy. But I think we went even more crazy for the Rome pick because it was a little bit less expected. We were thinking, are we going to go for a defensive player? Are we going to trade back? I thought we would potentially trade back given the capital that we had. We didn't have any picks, but I'm so happy that we got him. If the player's there, you take him. Pure quality, and like you say, our offense is absolutely stacked now for the first time in years.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I heard you say that you had a friend with you. Were you able to bring a friend with you on this adventure over here?
Yeah, so I brought my friend Phil, Bears fan. So that was cool.
Phil's indebted to you a little bit forever.
I think so because we had already planned. Me and Phil watched the draft every year together. We watched round 1. We absolutely loved the draft. For me, and this might sound a bit crazy, I prefer the draft to the Super Bowl. I just absolutely love everything about it.
Yeah.
So we'd already planned, we're going to watch it at my house. We'll stay up until whenever it ends, which is ridiculous o'clock over here again. But to actually surprise him with that and say, sorry, man, I can't make the draft this time because I'm going to be there. Do you fancy coming with me? And he was like, what?
Yeah, I fancy it, sir.
Yeah. So yeah, to surprise him as well was another really nice surprise and a nice thing to do, and to experience that with him was just so cool. I was so glad that I could bring somebody. It was a really good opportunity, and I'm glad I took him.
So did you make friends with any of the other super fans down there? Did you go out anywhere with anyone? Like, what were you doing around the draft time? Tell me what you went out and got a little shitty in Detroit. Come on, be honest with me. You're on vacation, holiday.
Yeah, exactly. No, a few beers, especially at the venue of the draft. When you're at the draft, you've got to have a few beers. Despite how expensive they were, I'm sure these places charge an absolute fortune for a can of beer. Even go to the Cubs game. I went to a Cubs game when I was in Chicago. $18 for a can of beer, which is crazy, but we still pay it.
Welcome to Chicago, my friend.
That's it. Yeah. But yeah, a few beers, getting to know the other Bears fans, absolute sound people. We had Bearman at the front, some competition winners. They were all so lovely and they really welcomed me into it, and I felt a part of it. And yeah, I know it was just all good vibes, all good feelings. Spirits were great, drinks were flowing, perfect. And yeah, just to be around that was great, and to connect with those fans. What I will say, probably night 2 of the draft was even better for that, because we'd already kind of met each other and knew each other from the first night. And second night, because we were kind of waiting ages and we only had one pick, what better to do when waiting than just drink and have a good time and chat to each other?
Yeah.
And that's what was it. That was probably even better vibes night 2, even though we had one pick. And when Kiran Amagaji got announced, chances are the majority of the people in the pit didn't know who he really was, but we still went crazy and were chanting and we were so loud. So that was really memorable.
Now, were you in the inner circle the entire time, given the fact you're international?
Yeah, I was very, very lucky. And, the good thing about it, the Bears section was right at the front. So, to be no more than 10 feet away from the stage was just cool. When Eminem came out on the first kind of day, to be like within, you know, arm's length of him was cool, was absolutely cool. You know, with all these 700,000 people over the weekend, for me to be like 2 rows from the front, what are the chances? It's just so cool.
So you got to bear witness. Were you right there when Caleb Williams kind of jumped back into the crowd by Bear Man and had like the selfie stick and all that?
You see those selfies, you'll see me in them, sir. If you go onto NFL, like Twitter or Facebook or whatever now, the cover photo is of the selfie with Caleb, and I'm front and center in that, so you'll see my ugly face in there. But no, cool to get in that, and you know, and the Roma Dunze selfie as well. I was front and center in that. I made sure to be in that. I'm quite a tall guy, so I could kind of tower over other people and get in those pictures.
So you got to bear witness to Caleb Williams stealing Bear Man's claw that he's been doing for 40 years. I'm friends with Donnie. He's such a great guy. He had a lot of good things to say about you. He said you're a good kid. And I was talking about you coming on the show, but I'm like, that's where it happened, man. He saw you doing the bear claw, and he turned around to the camera. He's like, I'm going to copy what the biggest fan the bear does. Right to the camera. And now it's like completely blown up, dude. It's so crazy.
Man. Taken off so much, isn't it? You know, everyone's doing that now. But yeah,
so we're always laughing that Don needs a trademark. That he needs to trademark that claw.
But you know, I love the commitment from him because you know, he gets approached so many times for photos, and he's always so happy to do them and friendly. So, you know, big up to him, and you know, that's why he's in the Superfan Hall of Fame, isn't he? So,
yeah, dude. I mean,
what a guy.
There's no bigger superfan than Bear Man, dude. I mean,
iconic.
He's up there. Costume, the recognition around the league, man. It's uncanny. So you got to witness one of the greats when you were there, my friend.
Yeah,
I'm thankful to call him a friend. He lives like 5 minutes from my house. I figured that out a few years ago, and been friends with him ever since, dude. And he's such a great guy and such a big Bears fan, dude. It's not a costume, it's not an act, dude. Like, he'll text you and be like, all right, talk to you later. Like, it's a lifestyle, man. He has life-size bears around his house, dude. Like, it's a full 100% commitment, man. It's 100% commitment.
I love it. He bleeds navy and orange, and I respect that. I respect that massively.
Yeah. So we go into the night of your pick, man. You're nervous. You're shitting bricks a little bit, or what?
I promise you, Foz. I wasn't. And I'm not a cocky guy or anything like that. But I knew I
like confidence. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
You've got to be a bit confident, haven't you? But as I said, you know, I knew that I was going to be making this pick, provided that we didn't trade it. And I'm so glad, like, we didn't trade up or anything, because I saw another fan of the year, nonetheless, from the Packers. But they traded up, so he literally got, you know, pulled quickly up onto the stage, so he had no time to prepare, nothing like that. For me, it was a little bit different. We stuck at 1-2-2, so about 10 picks before they kind of call you up. Someone with like a headset from the NFL called me up, took me backstage of the draft, behind the scenes, you know, an area where not many people get to go. And that was cool. You know, I saw the whole operation behind it all, and so many people are involved with it. So many moving parts to make it what it is, to what we know and what we see. You know, just seeing the massive Excel spreadsheet TV screens with the live picks coming in, I could see 4 or 5 picks announced before they'd been officially, you know, put out there to the public. You know,
grabbed your phone, you went on DraftKings really fast.
That's the thing. You can't bring your phone.
I know. I was just joking, man.
Yeah, no. Because the reason I say that is because Sketch the streamer picked one after me, and I would have got a picture with him because we were chilling in the back, and I was having a good old conversation with him. But I couldn't get a picture with him because I didn't have my phone because they didn't let me, which is a bit annoying. But yeah, I was waiting for this pick. I was in this kind of dark room with this big Excel spreadsheet kind of on my own, with kind of a little mini fridge full of drinks. So I was kind of psyching myself up. I was doing kind of like boxing movements, kind of stuff like that, just like preparing myself. I didn't even know what I was going to say for. I was like, you know, it was just kind of a heat of
whatever comes, man, whatever comes.
Exactly. So then they called me up. They kind of said, this is who you're going to be picking. And when I saw it was a punter, I went, oh, for fuck's sake! You gotta be kidding me! I'm about to go out in front of 170,000 people on the day and announce a punter. Like, I couldn't
Now,
believe
knowing
it.
what we know now, the background of this punter, it's a completely different story. And whatever that
Exactly.
said, you probably got to announce probably till today the most talked about pick of the entire draft, and how
Yeah.
other teams were pissed off that the Bears kind of stole him. Like that dude had
Yeah.
some draft value, my friend. So
This is
I was
it.
with
Yes.
you though, man. When I heard the pick, I'm like, I don't know enough about this guy to judge right now. I'm going to do some
No.
research. But did we just fucking draft a punter with only four draft
Yeah.
picks? I'm like, I'm not going to judge them. I'm going to do some research. But doing the research on Tory Taylor, man, I mean, kid averaged 50-yard punts, and
Good player.
he said,
Good player.
put it where you want it. I mean, dude, a team like the Bears with the defense we have and the productive offense we're open to have, and a kid who can kick 50 yards, dude, that was the right move in my opinion, my friend.
Yeah, no, and doing, much like yourself, I've been doing the research, and yeah, that guy can bomb it down the field.
Yeah.
It's quite a funny thing. People were saying I was responsible for Trenton Gill losing his job, but nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me.
Only Trenton Gill is responsible for Trenton Gill.
Yeah, he started off okay in his first season, but last season was bad,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Let's be honest, But yeah, odd pick at the time, but I think it's going to work out quite well. The guy's talented, and it's kind of cool for me to announce an Aussie as well.
Yeah.
What are the chances of that? I don't know if you know, but Australia and England are quite big rivals in cricket, which is a
Okay.
big sport over here. So that was a kind of a fun thing.
Did you get a chance to talk with him and bullshit with him a little bit?
No, sadly not. However, I have since spoken to the Bears representatives, and they're going to sort something out where we can meet in London, and have a good conversation. And he's going to sign my jersey and stuff like that. So that would be cool. I ordered a Tory Taylor jersey. I said, whoever I'm going to be drafting, I'm going to get the jersey.
Dude,
but
of course, man, of course, yeah. For
But I didn't
nostalgia
expect to get
purposes
a punter's
alone.
jersey.
You better hope he works out, man, or you got to wear that around for years. I'm just joking.
Oh man, yeah, that's it. That's it. And
Well, that's a good frame on the wall in the man cave, kind of. There you go.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. But what I might get kind of the International Fan of the Year jersey signed by Goodell. I might get my Jack Sanborn and then like a Tory Taylor signed jersey framed as well. Just from my trip and my memories of that. But going back to the pick itself, ready to go out on stage. I got given my card. I was like, oh, right, okay, we'll go with it. I've got given a punter. The big relief for me, man, was I could pronounce his name nice and easily, right? It wasn't a long name that I couldn't get right, or I would get twisted on the stage. But I just went out there. I thought, right, let's do it. Deep breath. Let's go out through the tunnel. And straight away, all I could hear was boos, right? Lions fans booing. It was really loud. It didn't really kind of sound too loud on the TV, but trust me, it was loud. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what though, that worked in my favor. I say, I could play up to that. You might have saw me. I was doing that, and I was doing that, and now what's become my catchphrase? Hey Bears fans, can you hear anything? Because I can't. That was just. That got them straight away. That made them boo even more, and that's when I knew I had them on strings. Right, I was the puppeteer and the Grand Master there. So from that point on, I kind of then said about we're the best team in the NFC North. We're the best team in the NFC.
Let's rub it in.
Yeah, only it was kind of like a WWE type thing, but only to be kind of greeted by more boos, which is what I wanted. I want the Detroit fans to hate me. That's what it's all about, rivalry in sport.
Sure.
And I know, the Lions haven't been that good in the past, when I've since been a fan, but now they're a good team, aren't they? Let's be honest. So yeah, that was cool to play up to that, and made the pick, did my thing, wasn't nervous despite it being in front of hundreds of thousands of people, millions on TV, whatever. And when you kind of see yourself like on a video or hear yourself back or that kind of thing, and you go, "Oh, cringe! Is that me?" For once in my life, I was quite proud, and to get so many nice comments from Bears fans, not just in the US but internationally as well, was so nice. It's been so well received, and I'm so glad of that. I'm so glad I made the most of that, because I want people to kind of remember me in that way, so that I can connect with more fans and get maybe opportunities to, like you say, go to tailgates or go to more
Oh,
games or
you're gonna
other
have
events.
no problem with that going forward now, my friend. You're all set there, my friend.
Ah, that's amazing. Yeah, and I'm so glad that that mission accomplished for me, man.
Yeah, for sure, dude. The funny thing is, like, being like a big fan of the team and getting to know fans of the other team and seeing their biggest fans, like, dude, it's really more about fan unity. Like the booing thing, kind of really. We get it. There's rivalry. Everyone wants their team to win, but dude, more of the bigger fans are more about fan unity and getting to know each other and having friends around the country and being able to travel and tailgating, do tons of fun things together. And
Yeah.
obviously, when it's on the field, you want your team to win, dude. But more of the fan unity behind the scenes, dude. Like, we party with tons of different tailgates from all around the country, and I've had tons of different fans from around the country on this show the last couple of years. So it's been crazy, man. But the booing just pisses me off, fam. Like, like you see, like the Eagles fans, they get a bad rep for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, I'm kind of anti that, man. So it kind of pissed me off, but I was glad you clapped back at him, man. Like
Yeah, I
everyone,
mean,
let's just get along, okay? We all want our
like you
team to
say,
win.
yeah, it's all within good spirit, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I mean, that's cool. And yeah, I like that whole thing about the whole community and the fandom. Like you said,
Yeah.
I was introduced into the whole ESF. I can see that in your background there, the elite super fans, and that's
Yes.
something I've learned more about, and seeing how cool that is, and how about respect and anti-bullying, and what a good community that is. You might know him, you might not know him, but one of the other UK international fans of the year, Captain Duval from the Jaguars.
I was gonna save him to the end, dude. That's my guy right there. He
Yeah,
is the
what a nice
coolest guy
guy.
in the entire world, man. My wife is absolutely terrified of him too. And like, I didn't see it at first. I'm like, that's a really cool like outfit with the ears and the hat and everything. But then you
Yeah.
think to yourself, like, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, you're in an alley, you see that at the other end of the alley. I'm gonna be pretty fucking scared. So I'll be honest with you. But dude, nicest guy in the entire world, man. He's gonna
Such a
be
nice guy.
on the show when we play the Jaguars in the UK. So he's
Perfect.
actually coming on the show for that game, man. So I already
Nice.
got him booked up, but super
Perfect.
awesome guy, man. I'm glad you got to connect with him. He's one of my
Yeah,
favorites.
what a nice guy. And he's doing lots of good things for lots of good causes and charities. And he was talking to me all about the ESF and how he's kind of been introduced into this world. And it's such a cool thing. And yeah, it's kind of weird because I've only seen Captain Duval previously in like his get up, his costume. But to see him outside of costume was kind of a weird thing. But yeah, what a nice guy Simon is. And yeah, it was a pleasure to get to know him. And best of luck to him. It is going to be the Jaguars that we play in London, isn't it? That's all but confirmed, isn't it?
Yeah. So, dude, it's going to be a ton of fun there, man. So,
yeah.
I'm super jealous. I definitely want to go. Just not in the plans.
Are you going to try? Are you going to try and come over, or?
I'm not going to lie to you, my friend. It's not in the plans this year. I really wish it was, man. Between the Bears stuff and the podcast and everything, dude, it's very time consuming. But
yeah.
I'll definitely be supporting the shit out of you guys.
Cool.
It's going to be a good time. So, what other international fan did you get to meet? Did you really get to connect with anyone else over there?
Yeah. So, the thing is with that, I wish one of my only things was I wish they kind of did more events where we were all together, sort of thing. For these tours and stuff, they kind of split us up by nation, by country. So the Canadians guys stuck with the other Canadians, and the Mexicans all stuck together. The UK guys, just how it kind of naturally went. But there was a few kind of crossovers. The Australian guys were quality. They were so nice. They traveled like 17 hours to be there, and they stay up even later than I do. So their dedication was great to see. But everyone was really nice. The Mexicans, they go fully out on the costumes and the outfit. The Texans guy and the 49ers guy, Reynaldo. Very, very nice people. So yeah, great community. Great to meet them all. Just trying to think who else, and obviously all the UK guys. We were in a group chat. We all kind of sort of got to know each other, and we'll continue to stay in contact after. We had the Packers guy, Lions, Raiders, Jaguars, myself, and Jets. So yeah, nice guys, and just to share the passion of the game and the knowledge of the game was really, really great. So an unforgettable experience, and once again, so thankful and blessed.
Yeah, dude, most definitely. I mean, even you being the International Fan of the Year and coming on the show when I announced you were coming on, I actually have some more UK Bears fans who are part of the page. I think you got to talk to Mr. Pete Lowe so far, correct?
Yeah, yeah. So I've been connected.
Huge Bears fan, man. Are you guys
Yeah,
close
man.
by? Do you live by each other by any
Not
chance?
not to my knowledge. I've not actually met him in person, but I'm sure we'll catch up at the
No.
pub get together in the UK. So it'd be really nice to meet all these fans I've been connecting on with Facebook and stuff. And I've already kind of contacted the Bears to see if they can sort us out with some prizes and giveaways for the UK fan event, which they said they would. So yeah, that's going to be good to get some pints down us, have a good time, ready for the game. With it being the Jags, winnable game for us. Last time the Bears were over in the UK was against the Raiders when we lost, sadly. It was kind of the Mitch Trubisky era, and even he was injured.
Yeah.
We had Chase Daniel starting, so it wasn't too great. But this time
Even
it's a
better.
home game. Yeah, this time it's a home game. There'll be plenty of fans, and yeah, it's going to be a good old time. And as I said, no better time for me to be the International Fan of the Year to represent us in London. For the other International Fans of the Year, their kind of experience is sort of over unless they're playing in their respective countries. But for me, I've still got that to look forward to. So yeah, like I say, amazing and very lucky.
Well, we got some comments coming in here, my friend. Before I let you go, we'll go through some comments from some people. We got our always great guy watcher, Mr. Doug Copes, my guy. What's up, brother? Sugar and Vodka, she's always in the house checking me out. Thank you. Beer Christian, hey, schedule leaks. Man, I wish, dude. I'm like drooling right now.
There's been none this year.
We're 2 days away and there's nothing, dude.
It's
like,
crazy.
We're keeping some lock. Like,
yeah.
Dude, last year there was like a week or so before there was some leaks and stuff. Like,
yeah,
this year there ain't shit, man.
That's terrible, isn't it? Yeah.
Bears fan in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Thank you for watching, sir. Appreciate your support. What's up, Debo? Debo, hell yeah, dude. I love that name. Kevin, what's going on, brother? Icor. Anderson Amelia, hello. Dude, I think these are lotto numbers, man. We got to play these and see if we can win some money or something like that. Doug's also part of our tailgate, man, so he'll be able he'll tell you how awesome it is.
I'll hit you
Thank you
up.
to Fister, Pete Lowe, dude. Pete Lowe's amazing. Thank you for the support, sir. Yo. Shane, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Ooh,
yeah,
did you
man.
Richard with the commissioner when he came out?
100%
Were you booing him?
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Nice. Hey, Boo, great show. My guy Oso. Bear Army will be out there, my friend, supporting the Bears. My friend Lorenzo runs a group called Bear Army. A bunch of former veterans involved, charity, things of that nature. So him and that group will be making the trip out to the UK. So I'll be sure to connect you two so you guys can hook up.
I'll tell you all the good pubs because, as I said, I'm a Tottenham fan as well. So I'm a season ticket holder for the soccer team. Obviously, we're playing at that stadium, so I know the area well. So I know where it's good to drink and good, to eat as well. So yeah, hit me up.
For sure, man. Well, I appreciate you staying up late tonight, James, and coming on the show. Sounds like you're a very deserving fan of the year, my friend. I'm glad it was able to work out for you. I'm sure you're going to be doing some awesome stuff for Bears fans traveling, and make sure to spread that Bear love out through the UK. Okay, brother?
Will do. Thanks very much for having me on the show, Foz. Absolute pleasure. And yeah, bear down.
As always, ladies and gentlemen, bear down, baby.
Thank you, and go Bears!
Bear down!